Amber took it better. So Amber was like, you know, I understand. Okay, bye. Joseline was like, I don't understand. I defended myself. I don't understand. I want to do my other work. I wanted to be here. I wanted to do that. Like, she kept going on and on. Dr. Petty was like, you're done. You're done. You can go, Joseline. So anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brenda Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brenda Yvonne. Y'all already know, here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are talking BET Plus's College Hill Celebrity Edition. This is season 2, episode 7, titled, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. Before y'all say goodbye on this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. I thank y'all so much for subscribing. Y'all been showing support for real lately, and I appreciate it. I think we're like one number from the next big milestone of 300. So like you could click right now and get us over the threshold, okay? So just go on and do it, right? Be part of the cause right here, okay? Also comment down below, are y'all watching College Hill Celebrity Edition? What y'all think about this whole Joseline, Hernandez, and Amber Rose fight? They didn't even show the fight. What did y'all think about that? If you're curious to know what I think, catch the last review. So after you finish this one, go back and watch the last one, okay? Also share the video where y'all like to share y'all videos. Speaking of BET Plus, y'all see that Tyler Perry purchased BET and VH1. So we're gonna see how that goes. Nice to see a black man doing it though. We know as much as we talk about Tyler Perry and his shows, you know, he is definitely doing the darn thing, and he is a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. So congrats to him. I ain't mad at it at all. You know, hopefully BET continues to improve and do what it got to do. Anywho, I'm not sure how many more episodes of College Hill we got left. Hopefully it's just one. I think last season was 8 or 10 episodes. So I'm hoping this season is the same. I can't remember. I had to go back and look at the videos I did for last season, because I did review it last season, y'all. Anyway, let's get into the video. So the episode really wasn't giving that much. Like, okay, we saw Joseline and Amber get sent home, which I already knew they was going home. Okay, let's get into it though. So the episode opens up with Amber is going to go talk to Dr. Petty and the gentleman, I can't think of his name. Anyway, to complete her case, she explains what happened, about how she was sharing about her racial experience and what Joseline said about her wanting to be a white girl. And Amber says she's dealt with that her whole life, and she even tried to get up and excuse herself. And when she walked by her that second time, she literally just blacked out, because all she could see is those people who continue to tease her for being biracial her whole life. I understand Amber's reasoning. When somebody pushes you, you know, there's only so much that you can do and so much that you can take. However, like I said, I believe in the previous video, I really, really wish Amber did not lose her cool and did not get out of character. Like, I wish she would have just left the classroom and stayed gone. Granted, they would have fought in the house later. I just wish she didn't let her take her out of character, because Joseline is definitely one of those people that's going to push you until you get out of character. And then she's going to be the victim, and that's what she did. So, bottom line, Dr. Petty said, you know, I told y'all at the beginning, we don't tolerate the alcohol, the drugs, and the fighting, especially on campus. And she's like, with no exception across the board. See, the reason why, I already know the reason why they had to kick her out is because if they would have let Amber or Joseline stay, then, and this is recorded on a TV show and they're celebrities, then when a student has this issue, they're going to be like, oh, well, you let these celebrities who didn't really attend the school officially, like, you know what I mean? They have to set an example. They have to set the tone. They cannot waver on it. So I totally understand why they got kicked out. And I agree with the reasoning. I don't see a problem with it. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Every action has consequences. Let's talk about Miss Joseline. Joseline came down there with her preppy outfit on, hardly any makeup, nice reserve. She had her little study guide in her pocket. She came with the waterworks ready. I said, oh, Joseline's gonna play victim. She was like, I do all my work. Everyone said I do good grades. I get the hundreds in all my classes. I study real hard. I have my study right here. I study my notes every day for class. Like, I do my work, and this was the first class I enjoyed because we were having like a healthy debate. And so Dr. Petty reminded her what happened in the moment and what she said. And she's like, oh, I don't know why. She basically doesn't understand why Amber took offense to it. She's like, she goes through that all the time, being Spanish, and people saying, you know, she don't want to be Spanish, she want to be black. And I get it, Joseline, y'all's experience are relatable in that way, but you were negating Amber's feelings, okay? Joseline at the end of the day didn't understand what she did wrong. Dr. Petty was saying you don't understand how that could be, you know, inflammatory what you said and offensive, and how that you're cutting her to the core. And so she was like, no, because she doesn't understand why Amber would take it that, like, why she would feel that way. Like, we're just talking about it. I'm like, Joseline, you can't determine how Amber is going to take what you say. Like, just because you feel like you got the tough snake skin to take everything don't mean everybody else do. And you don't know her journey with her race and how she feels about being biracial. So you can't say, oh, she shouldn't have took it that way. You can't tell nobody how to take nothing you say. You cannot do that. So Joseline was like, oh, it's freedom of speech, freedom of speech. And she hit me. Was I supposed to sit there and just let her hit me? And she crying. Dr. Petty had to give her some tissue. She's like, well, you know, at the end of the day, you got to go, girl. So she got excused. Joseline, see, Amber took it better. So Amber was like, you know, I understand. Okay, bye. Joseline was like, I don't understand. I defended myself. I don't understand. I wanted to do my other work. I wanted to be here. I wanted to do that. Like, she kept going on and on. Dr. Petty was like, you're done. You're done. You can go, Joseline. So anyway, Joseline left the house. And then later on, we see Amber get back to the house, and everybody's just broken up and, you know, upset about the whole thing, of course. And so Amber had called Ray J and let him know the news at first. And so then everyone's, you know, in the house, and Amber gave New York one of her Versace robes. She's like, I got tons of these. And New York's like, no, Amber, no, I can't, girl, no, I can't accept it, no. She's like, girl, take it, come on, take it. And then Quay was over there, and she told Quay, come on in the room, we gotta be around, we got some spending time with her, come on, I know it's hard, but come on, we gotta spend time with her. Quay was like, okay, what you want me to do? And then she was like, not you coming in late at the last minute to help pack. He sure did do that, though. I got a couple of my siblings do stuff like that. They be coming in at the last minute not helping. Like, what? Anyway, you know, they were just really broken up about the whole thing. And New York says she dealing with it because she's drunk. So anyway, I'm thinking Amber spent the night because later we do eventually see her leave the house, and they said they were going to field trip. So anyway, Ray J said that him and, you know, or Amber said her and Ray J really became friends, and Amber said she really wanted to do this and show her kids, you know, that they can get their education too. Do y'all think, let me know in the comments, please, do y'all think that Amber will come back for a third season if they have a third season of the show and try to redeem herself? Do you think Joseline will come back for a third season, try to redeem herself? I think they should bring them back the same way Ray J did, because Ray J was expelled as well in the first season, for those who don't know. Just don't have them on the same season, okay? Just put them on 2 different seasons so we don't have to repeat. Although Joseline, she might be doing some jail time soon, so we don't know if she gonna make it back to college. Anyway, so I'm guessing it's the next morning, and they're like, girl, we can't stay and talk to Amber Rose too long because we got to go on our field trip. So let's talk about the field trip. So the field trip, that field trip they went on, y'all, I want to go visit that house. So they went to the Harris house. And the lady who spoke at the house's name, I made sure I remember her name, Dr. Vidal Harris. I think she goes by Montgomery now, the teacher said. And so basically that house is a house that the Freedom Riders would go to. So when the Freedom Riders came to the Greyhound bus station and they got riot, big old mob, you know, attacked them and everything, they dispersed around the city and they spread out, and then they eventually ended up at that house. And so when, you know, they would all be protesting and doing the bus rides and all that, they would go meet up at that house to strategize. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lived 2 or 3 doors down from the house. Ray J again told us about his grandfather being part of that movement and him driving the school bus and helping out with the protests. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would be there. He would be strategizing, and the freedom fighters and the protesters, freedom riders, all that. So that history was so amazing, and you could tell they left a lot of the house the way it was, and the seats they sat on, she said the people who were the freedom riders sat on these exact seats, and you could tell everyone was moved by it. Iman said he didn't think he would get to experience something like that. It's like they were there, and I felt it through the screen. Did y'all feel it through the screen? Like, I was like, dang, I want to go visit that house. Like, I really do. So the Dr. Harris, she was sharing that she, was part of this movement since she was like 6 years old. Her parents had this house for them, and the house was there for them to come and strategize and make plans together. They had a place to eat, they had a place to shower, even a place to have fun at times. So it was like a safe haven for the protesters. And so she's also sharing how Dr. Martin Luther King had wrote a book about how they would fight and how they would do things, because she's like, you could just go out there and think you're in a protest. Like, it was like a handbook that he wrote, and all these kind of different things you would do. Like, she gave an example, walking on the sidewalk, there can only be like 2 people at once. So then if you came a third person walking alongside of them, then you kind of messed up, because you could get them in trouble. It can only be 2 at a time. And so she was a part of that history from like 6 years old to the end of college, basically, she said. And she clearly has continued her family's legacy in doing that. And I'm assuming the house must be like a museum place or historical legacy place. I'm sure it's been reserved and preserved as a historical legacy type of place. And so anyway, she was quite asked, could you share one of your last memories of Dr. King, if you don't mind? And so she said that, she just remembers him coming to the house, and he would be gone, and then he would show them slides and different things and all these things they were going to do. And she then talked about how he got shot on April 4th, 1968. And that day, she said that's when she developed hate in her heart. She was a junior in high school, I believe she said, when it happened. And they would make, I forgot what she called it, like mocktail, kind of like some kind of something to harm the white folk, basically. like a kind of like an explosive kind of thing, I'm thinking. So anyway, they didn't never use it, thank God, she said. And she really became a rioter that day, and it just hurt her that that they would murder Dr. King, of course. And so the whole thing was just crazy, her telling these stories and how she really experienced it. Like, that was probably one of the best, besides them going to that Legacy Museum, this was one of the best parts of the whole series for me. And the way, you can see they really took it in. And so she was just explaining all that. And so, they were just all in awe and happy to be there. I'm trying to make sure there was something else in the house I thought she mentioned that I needed to mention, but maybe not. But anyway, she was just explaining about all that rich history and how the freedom fighters have come to, be at the house. So that was really, really amazing. So shout out to Dr. Vidal Harris. So anyway, later on they got back to the house. Tiffany, she's still flirting with Orion. She's trying to get this bathtub popping, so she go ask Quay, like, you still gonna help me do this? And I don't know what Quay got to do. Quay was like, they've been flirting, I want to be a good friend. Like, basically, he don't want Tiffany to get in trouble with her own man, because Tiffany got a fiance. So I'm like, girl, what you doing? But this scene was so set up by production, because, mind you, Tiffany got in there with all these clothes on, her boots on, her sunglasses on. She never takes that stuff off. She gets towels from Quay to get Orion. She drew him a bow bag. He's like, I ain't got this since I was a baby. She recognized a king. And she said she always wanted to have fantasies about this. And she came out the bathroom, and she was like, it looks like a ripe banana. That's the good thing. And so you can hear them making noises. And she's like, yeah, he wants me to oil his back and all this stuff. I feel like they didn't do nothing in there, y'all. They didn't do nothing in there, okay? Like, we didn't even need this scene, but it was funny. Anyway, then, Reggie gets the news that Joseline ain't coming back. So he goes to meet up with her, and so she was like, yeah, they kicked me out. And he was like, you didn't see how anything you said could have been, inflammatory and issues. She's like, no, I don't see it. Feel like I did nothing wrong. That's the part that's scary to me, is that the fact that Joseline doesn't see what she did wrong, and she's unable to take any accountability in this moment for the things she said. Granted, yeah, someone put their hands on you, maybe that wasn't right thing to do, but you kept pushing that person and you were saying some nasty things. So the fact that she doesn't recognize she did anything wrong is scary. People like that, you better watch out for, because they're going to have you looking crazy. Okay? So anyway, he convinced her to come back to the house and say her goodbyes to everybody, because she didn't want to at first. But she was like, you know, she has connected with them and everything. So she get back to the house. Iman, we got to talk about Iman selling after this. Anyway, Iman was there, and Orion and Ray J in New York. Parker and Quay didn't want to be at the house. They went to the movies. Parker was like, she can't even look at Joseline and talk to her because she was offended by the things she said as well. I don't blame them. I probably would have went down to the movies as well. Like, Joseline, you're nasty. And y'all seen she got arrested for that fight. Okay, so, but she out now, so. And another thing, she's supposed to be on this sobriety thing, but she was she came back to the house, I thought they were drinking, looked like they were drinking, but then I kept looking at her and I was like, did she for real drink? Because she had a cup and they had the bottles. So I'm wondering if they really didn't drink because she's being sober. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. So Tiffany said she did really want to talk to Joseline after the incident happened, and she told her, you know, I'm sorry that both of you guys weren't able to be here. You know, I'm sorry it really happened. And so, you know, Joseline, she did say her goodbyes and hugged everybody, and that was that. She said, you know, she always wanted to go to college, and and it happened for her, so that's good. You know, maybe she'll come back for another season. Y'all let me know if y'all think that's a good idea in the comments. So anyway, Iman wants to learn to sew, as he said at the beginning of the season, so he goes to the sewing class. I can't think of that sewing. Rhonda, I think was her name. It's Rhonda. Anyway, she reminded me of one of my family members in like Wichita, Texas. But anyway, actually she reminded me of my Auntie Velma. Rest in peace, Auntie Velma. That's who she reminded me of. So anyway, he explained that he wants to transform like comfort casual clothing into like meaningful clothing. And I don't know if the lady was taking him seriously or not. It was kind of funny, her reaction. She seemed like she was at first, but I don't know. When I watched it the second time, I was like, is she really like buying it? But anyway, he said that he wants to take like an old sweater or hoodie and sew in like his daughter's blanket, like a piece of the blanket into it or something. Or like, you know, he wore this hoodie, he got bad news in it. Then he want to take it and add something good to it to make it better. Like, but he want to do it himself. He don't want to just hand it over to like manufacturers do it, because they ain't gonna put that same oomph on it. Like, he don't want to give them his mama's old t-shirt to sew into something and they not handling it with care. So she showed him how to sew. He said it was hard because his fingers are too big to get the thread and the needle. I already know. So just doing, all that is a struggle for me, y'all. I have tried. But with my eyesight, y'all know I have low vision. I've shared on this channel before. The sewing thing is definitely difficult for me. Yeah, so he got it going on. He's like, that's it, that's all. So he got it done. So that's cool to see him branch off into that, you know. So let's see what else happened. That was actually pretty much it. Yeah, because after Joseline came. Oh no, I'm missing one very important scene. So sorry, y'all. I don't know if this was the last scene. Y'all know I go out of order at the Brandy Yvonne channel. So they had Dr. Yaba Bailey, I think that was her name, come to the house. The producers actually wanted her to come to the house just to talk about what happened with Joseline and Amber Rose, and kind of help them, you know, understand it and get their thoughts out and decompress, which is, I thought that was really good that the producers did that. That was, shout out to them for doing that, helping them through that trauma for sure. Too bad the girls couldn't be there though, because they needed the discussion the most, really. So she wrote a book about, I think it's called The One Drop or something like that, and it's about basically looking at like race in America and colorism just like from a different lens. And so she's expressing that she wrote the book, like she grew up in New Orleans, and you know, she's a dark-skinned woman, she said, and she wanted to talk. She noticed a lot of people in New Orleans who were lighter skinned, but they were more so identified themselves as Creole, but they were also very, very proud of who they were, just as proud as she is. So she wanted to explore that. And so she asked them like what makes them feel good about being black or something like that. She asked them, and then Ryan talked about the food he eats, the culture, the music, everything like that. And so then what's her name? Parker talked about identifying as biracial and how it was hard to hear things Joseline said. And she's like, well, I call myself black and white. And it's really hard because she's like, I just want to be me. And, you know, I didn't ask to, you know, choose to be this thing. And she was like, you know, that's great and all. That's what Dr. Bailey was saying. You know, that's great, Dawn, that you want to be you. Like, we all feel that way. But however, she's like, the bitter truth is that we don't get to do that because everyone's going to label you. Race is a big thing. And, you know, I understand what Parker's saying, but at the end of the day, people are going to see you as black, as white, or whatever. People, you know, that it would be nice to one day just live in a world where we just can be who we are, and all these labels don't define us, but that's just not how the real world works. And that's basically what Dr. Bailey was saying, right? So the discussion was good. Ray J wasn't there, which threw me off though. But other than that, you know, they were discussing all the different things and about how, like, basically, you know, they got into colorism because Koi touched on that about skin tone. And she said, you know, you see it in the Asian, American culture, you see it in the Latinx culture. So they have colorism in all cultures, not just with black people. I've definitely heard about Asian cultures having colorism, learning about that from friends and stuff like that, and his Latinx cultures as well. And so Iman made a good point in the confessional about, you know, we all, you know, celebrate our blackness, and if we could all come together on that instead of fighting on it, you know, maybe we wouldn't have been in this position. Tiffany wishes that the girls could have been there to be, you know, part of this experience. I do too. They needed that. So that was a really good discussion that they had, and I'm glad the producers definitely put that together. After that scene and Joseline left, that was pretty much the end of the episode, y'all. Like I said, nothing really much happened. We're going to see them in that little forensics class. That looked entertaining. And then they're going to get down to finals and the graduation of it all, y'all. So let me know what y'all think about this season of College Hill Celebrity Edition. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.